to inform you about the meaning and the history of Aztec dancing. In order for you to have a better understanding about Aztec dancing, first I will discuss the history of Aztec dancing, then I will continue by explaining the significance of the costume. And finally, I will explain the meaning behind the dance dedicated to La Virgen de Guadalupe. How the Aztec dance began in pre-Hispanic Mexico. The conquest. The dance emerged shortly after the Spanish conquest of the Aztec Empire. It is based on the old mitote dance, but modified to include Catholic symbolism as a means of preserving ancient rituals. In modern culture, many labor that the illusion of the Aztec dancers of the Mexican capital are merely there for the amusement of tourists. The dancers and the dance itself have a long and rich history. The prophecy. A legendary prophecy by Aztec Emperor Cuauhtémoc galvanized the movement. It is said that once Cuauhtémoc surrendered to Hernán Cortés in 1521, he gave a final address to his people, which stated, "Our son has left us. He has left us in the shadows. We know he will return to illuminate us once again. While he dwells in the house of the departed, let us be passionately united. Let us open our hand while concealing in our hearts all that we treasure. We must destroy our temples, our places of meditation, the streets we shall leave deserted. We shall lock ourselves in our houses until the new sun shines upon us. There in our houses, fathers and mothers must teach their children, that they may teach their children's children, how one day we shall rise united." Many of the Aztec dancers believe that the prophecy ultimately carried the hope of a reconquest of all pre-Hispanic lands and culture. The significance of the costume. The penacho, which means crest in English. This is the important part of the outfit, if not the most important. This was not only for fashion, but also a symbol of status. The penacho was not meant to be worn by the average Aztec. It was meant for nobility and high priests that would perform the dances. In addition, there was even laws to protect some designs that were made for specific people. To go more in depth, the Aztec dancers were not allowed to use peacock feathers. Peacocks are a very flashy animal, and we are shown to be very humble in Aztec culture. Therefore, we use wild bird feathers. Tunics. As in the majority of cultures, clothing was represented by the status and the social position. Most Aztec women wore skirts, which were called tzotzil, and were secured by sashes called chihuahua. Necuplotilin. Their underwear at the time were lion clothes called maxid, and the man from a high social class would have additional fringes and embroidery to add flair and denote their status. Seed pods and metal bells were also worn around the ankles of the dancers to serve both instruments, sounding with every step of their dance as a visual adornment. So there would be these wrapped around the ankles with leather. The meaning behind the Aztec dancing. The music. So the drum proves the heartbeat of an Aztec dance. It provides the rhythm, the depth, and the inspiration for those who perform the ancient movements dedicated to a higher power. The concha, which is a seashell, the Aztecs named the conch shell trumpet Quetzalcoatl, and the musician who played them Quetzalcoatl. This is an instrument Quetzalcoatl played to defeat the devious challenge of Mictlantecuhtli, the Lord of Death, and reclaim the ancestral bones of humanity. A specific dance would be fuego, which means fire in English. The leader begins by thanking Mother Nature by saluting the 4 cardinal points and initiating the salmation. The burning copal used as an offering to the fuerzas generadoras de vida, which in turn helps dancers have their offering to the dance with the energy of the fire. What I just showed you guys was an example of how we thank Mother Nature as Aztec dancers with the copal, and also it is asking for permission in order for us to perform the dance. Also, I forgot to mention earlier, but the penacho is only supposed to be worn when you're dancing. So as you could tell, I did take it off before giving the speech as a symbol of respect. In conclusion, the history behind Aztec dance is extensive, but the meaning behind the dance is what is important. These different meanings are what we have to keep this tradition alive. These dances have been passed down from generation in order to maintain this beautiful tradition.
Thank you.
Thank you.